Hey everybody, Brooks Van Norman here, and today I'm joined by Jon Robinson from 64Robots. Jon is co-founder of the company and has a really awesome story. 64Robots is a high-end web development agency, and I'd like to welcome you, Jon. Thanks for participating in this video.
Thanks, Brooks. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Right on. So let's get a little background. Can you describe 64Robots and who you guys help?
Yeah, sure. So like you said, 64Robots is a software agency, and we particularly specialize in helping build world-class applications. So what we do is we look at the product that you're trying to create, and ultimately we're looking at that product as a vehicle to growing and scaling whatever business that you have. So what we do is we hire really good high-end quality developers. We create a test-driven development scalable platform for you. But overall, we're really looking in the details of your business. What are your business goals, and how is this product going to get you new sales? And we use our expertise from growing really good products over the last 5 years, and we pass that expertise on to you, and we basically deliver you great value.
Yeah, it's a great model. It's great messaging. You're really using the product as a revenue growth engine for the business rather than coming at it from just developing products. I love it. Well, let's start from the beginning of our relationship. What were you doing before we met to generate leads and sales for 64Robots? And what were some of your frustrations in that area?
Yeah, sure. So for the most part, we were relying on a couple different routes. One was just word of mouth. And the other primarily was we have a partnership with the main framework that we use called Laravel. And being Laravel partners, that has helped drive a lot of the clients that we get, because we're seen as one of the experts within, and we are one of the experts in the ecosystem. So that has been the primary driver. And that's pretty much it for how we were getting clients. I guess the frustrations with that, we were growing, for the most part, we were growing actually pretty well, but then COVID-19 hit. Prior to COVID-19, we were growing about 50% each year, which is like pretty exceptional. And that's been just because of the quality of what we're doing, and just word of mouth, other people, letting others know about what we do. But COVID-19 came around, and for us, that actually, a lot of our bigger clients were losing money, and so they had to drop development, and we weren't scaling as much. So I wanted to look for new ways and be more aggressive about how we went about finding new clients.
Yep. And what were some of the other things that you had tried? Like, what were some of the strategies or methods that you were working on to try and build business after that happened?
Yeah. So, I mean, some of the things that we tried, like I would try and go out and network around, and we are based out of Baltimore, Maryland. I would try to go to networking events. This was actually happening before COVID-19, and so that sort of inhibited it. But even doing that, I wasn't really seeing any results going from the networking events. It was basically resulting in, I was spending a lot of time but not really getting any results. Other than that, I'm trying to think what else ultimately we tried to find someone that come in and help us grow this. So before actually working with you, I was working with another team, and they were just not delivering for us. They were not really delivering quality leads. They weren't really working well with us. They're a much bigger team, and it just didn't feel personal. It didn't feel personable, and it didn't feel like they cared about me. And so I quickly realized that was a mistake.
Mm-hmm. How did you first hear about us?
So I think, how did I hear about you? I think I'm trying to remember now. I think did we interact on LinkedIn?
We did.
You had originally talked with me, and we set up a call.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think just like instantly when I was talking with you, with your personality and the nature of the conversation that we had, it was very candid, it was very personable, but you were the way you just described what you do and the level of detail and the way you describe my business and your unique perspective on my business, like I quickly started to pick up that you have like this knowledge and this know-how that a lot of people are missing. And a lot of people like talk the talk, but when it comes down to it, you have much deeper layers of understanding than anyone else.
Got it. So why did you decide to do business with us?
Yeah, so I decided to do business with you because this other business I knew I wanted to have a method of gaining leads. This other company that we were working with just wasn't delivering. And for my conversations with you, and I believe one of my clients actually started using you and was reporting amazing results. And so I was like, wait, why am I not working with Brooks? Let me work with Brooks. And yeah, I mean, it was like night and day, honestly, from day one, actually.
Cool. What would you say are some examples of some of the experiences you had while working together, while we were setting up the process or the messaging or, getting feedback from any of your calls? Like, what would you say were some of the highlights of what we've done so far?
Yeah, I mean, I would say one of the main things that like really stood out to me was when you're like teaching me about this new system, you're teaching me really about anything, you have been putting together videos specifically for me. Like these are videos where you're either going through the steps I need to take, or you're giving me feedback on a lot of the things that I need to work on. And I was amazed by that level of just like care that you have for my own development, that I never even expected any of that. And it was just so it was just so above and beyond what I had expected. So yeah, that was what really shocked me in the beginning. I was like, wow, this guy really delivers like quality service. I've never had service like this.
Cool. I'm gotta say, it's reciprocal. I really, really enjoyed working with you and watching you push this and achieve the results that you have. So yeah, let's talk about results. What kind of results have you had, and what areas have you gained the most value?
Yeah, so I would say I gained real value in two areas. One, just my bottom line. I was able to get new clients on and get really good sized clients. So a great ROI. The other way I would say I really, the value that the thing that I really value for over the long term is just understanding the way to talk with clients about my business, really understand how to describe to them the value that 64Robots gives them over the long haul. And being a developer, like a software developer myself, I was coming at it from a standpoint of, we offer this feature set or this sort of detailed techie stuff that they don't ultimately really care about. What they care about is the value that we are delivering for them, but it's just learning how to talk in the language that they're going to understand. Yeah. And so I think the way you sort of coached me on how to describe 64Robots, coached me on, how to talk about my company. I think ultimately that was the real value. In addition to the monetary value, it's just the way to, I think it's more of a long-term value too. This is something I've learned that I'm going to be able to use years on end.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, being able to communicate with your prospect in a meaningful way that helps them become like a willing participant in their own rescue is really what you're doing is just so awesome. That's killer feedback. Thank you. And so in terms of the client, so we had only been working together initially for roughly 90 days before you ROI'd, right?
Right. I mean, it was pretty quick turnaround. Immediately I was seeing results. I was getting the phone calls. I mean, that's where a lot of the growth was. It's just getting on and starting to have these initial calls, and there was a feedback loop with you. Like this is how the call. I would give you like feedback on how my calls are going. You would help review my calls, and I was seeing improvements each and every time. And yeah, like within 90 days, I already had great ROI on the investment. Much more so than, it's really good ROI is what I'll say.
Well, and for anybody watching this, just so everyone knows, Jon did a lot of calls, and with my model, that's a pretty typical outcome. And I definitely need to commend you for staying the program and staying the course in terms of how many calls you did, because I remember there were some weeks there where it was like a lot more than you expected.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? To that point, I think earlier on there were so many calls, I was starting to get tired. But one of the ways you really helped me was once you started giving me feedback on my calls, I actually got more excited about the next call, and I had more energy. And it was just like, once I had a plan and a sort of like a blueprint for how I was going to tackle the next call, I was more energized to do it. And I think I was okay with having the volume that I was getting later on, simply because like I was excited having that feedback and being able to use the techniques that you taught me. So it was great. It was a great experience.
That's cool. Yeah, you stop thinking and you just start doing, because you know that doing is the right thing to do. And that's the key with the process, is that if you just follow the process, it delivers the results, and you just have to trust in that. Awesome. So why should anybody who is watching this video take action with growing their business now, like today, instead of waiting?
Well, it's easy I would say normally it's easy to, if your business is doing well, just to stay comfortable, but you should always be shooting to grow your business. And I think even more so now because of COVID-19, there's a lot of uncertainty out there. So one, you should be growing your business anyway. Two, there's extra reason now. And I would say the service that you offer it's basically priceless. It's not only are you getting an ROI on your money, but you're growing, you're learning how to communicate about your business. You're learning how to interact and talk with others. And so I think there's so much value there. You have to do it.
Now, I'm so happy to have seen the results that you have and the foundation that you've built. And I'm really looking forward to continuing to follow your success and working with you. So this is great. If somebody wants to learn more about you and 64 Robots and what you're doing, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can just go to 64robots.com. That's the digits 64 and then robots.com. And yeah, you can see our work there and just get in contact.
Great. Well, Jon, thank you for participating in this video, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, Brooks.